Hey folks, I'm Rick Miller, the writer, director, performer of Boom, which is here at Western Canada Theatre until March 5th. Boom is 25 years in 100 minutes with me playing 100 characters. History, culture, politics, technology, lots of music, including my mom and dad.
Prime Minister Lester B. Pearson gives an anti-war speech at a US university, which totally pisses off President Johnson. And for the first time, a protest song climbs its way to #1 on the charts.
I started creating Boom with the notion of trying to break down how rock and roll evolved. And that I knew had its kind of culmination in the 60s, but I knew it started much earlier and it had a lot of roots to it. So in looking at the evolution of rock and roll, I realized I needed to look at the evolution of politics, at the culture around it, and also at technology and how it shaped what was happening at the time. So rock would not have been the same had radio not turned into TV and had TV not brought Vietnam into people's living rooms. That led to a certain energy of young people rebelling that I think gives rock its edge. So I was looking at that, and then my dad started sharing stories of growing up in Vienna, and my mom was sharing stories, and I thought, why don't I try to make this a big history, small scale history, and seeing how it all connects? And it just kind of exploded from there.
I drove up north of Montreal with my new movie camera to a place in the Laurentian Mountains, and I built myself a cottage at the edge of a lake. We bought into what we called at the time the system, which meant, the house and the wife and, of course, the kids.
I think without the personal stories, it certainly isn't, it's less theater, and it also is, Rick Miller sings the 60s, which is the last thing I ever wanted to do.
Hi, I'm Poppin' Fresh, the Pillsbury Doughboy. Here's another poppin' fresh idea.
Pillsbury, flaky biscuit.
This fat little astronaut popping out of his space capsule.
Being a solo theater performer in a multi-character play is something I've always done. It's something I've always known I could do. And it's a particular challenge in that your body, your voice, and your brain, and everything needs to be in sync. You need to be sharp. And in a play of 1,000 moments, you're never going to succeed at all of them. And so that challenge of just trying to fail a little bit better every time is what keeps me going past 400 and way beyond. I will do it as long as people want to see it, and as long as it still feels exciting to me.
Dad was furious. He said he wouldn't pay a nickel for my goddamn college degree.
When I was your age, your mother had a child, and I was fighting in the mud in Holland.
It came, of course. Christmas Eve, 1965.
With Boom, we're dealing with 1945 to 1969, and the evolution from radio to actually televised images, and black and white photos to color and Polaroids and things. So I wanted the media and the show to evolve that. Essentially, I'm in a time capsule that is a projection surface, and I'm immersed in my own projections for the whole show. You don't have to know this, but it runs on one video cue. The whole thing, after years and years of trying to place them all, are all in line, and I change them every night depending on what I need more room for, but it's all one go on a video cue, and the sound and video are all linked together, and I just have to keep up. The excitement I get stepping into that cylinder every day is something I look forward to, and luckily I've never had stage fright. I don't get nervous about screwing up, because we always screw up in theater. It's part of what makes it exciting. When a projector blows up, and you handle it well, the audience thinks it's part of the show. And next thing you know, that worked so well, I want the projector to blow up every night because that's live theater.
All my friends got their own draft cards, and they were begging their doctors to say that they had asthma, hay fever, club feet, that they were gay, anything to stop them from going to Nam. Granny said I should become a conscientious objector. Nuh-uh. Say goodbye to Granny and Pops. Went to the bus station, took the next bus to Canada. Think of all the hate there is in Red China. Then take a look around to Selma, Alabama.
Last night while doing the dress rehearsal, Russia invaded the Ukraine, right? And during the play, I talk a lot about Russia. I talk a lot about the Soviet Union. I talk about the creation of NATO. So everything in this play is still relevant today. And because I curate the play myself, it's like a time capsule. I can put what I want in it. I try to make sure that everything in there is not about nostalgia. It's not about, the good old days. It's just about what's going on today and how can we learn to live together. That's all I'm really interested in.
When on
Come out and see it. Bring your kids, bring your mom. It's a great show to see with a bunch of generations.